Okay, this is Keith All again, and this is part 2 of explaining what a macro is and how to record macros in Excel 2003. I'm going to go to my Excel spreadsheet. In part 1, we already recorded the macros, and now I'm going to show you by using the shortcut key how it all works, and then we'll continue on with recording more macros. Okay, like I said, we already recorded 2 macros in the first video. So, and I assigned them 2 shortcut keys. Control S will return this data set, all items that were sold by the representative Andrews, and the second macro was to return the data set to its original form, which is it shows all the data. And I assign the shortcut key of Control R. So right now I'm going to hit Control S, and as you can see, it brought all items from the original data set with a Representative Andrews, and this is what it returns. Now I want to return the data set to its original form. So I press the Control R key, and it returns all the data back. Okay, the third macro I want to record, and then after we do this, I'm going to show you how to create buttons up here or anywhere on your spreadsheet, and by just clicking on those buttons, it will also perform the same functions as using the shortcut key. Okay, so the third macro we're gonna record is I want to return all items from this data set with a unit cost equal to and greater than $4.99. So in order to do that, we're gonna first of all turn off the data filtering. So before we record that, we're going to do that. And now make sure your cursor is still in the data set because it needs to recognize this. So what we're going to do is now turn on the recorder. We'll go up to data, tools menu, macro, and then record new macro. And now we need to call this something so it's easy for you to select from the macros. And again, they can't have any spaces on it. So I'm going to call this unit cost equal to or greater than $4.99. And I'm going to call this, I'll assign a shortcut key to it. I'll just call this Control U for unit cost. And then I'll give it a better description. Return all items sold with a unit cost of equal to and greater than $4.99. Okay, at this point I'm ready to record the macro. So I need to turn on the data filtering. So I go up to data, filter, turn on auto filter. Now I want to select all items that are greater than or equal to $4.99. So I go to the unit cost column, click on that. Now what this does, it's going to be able to give you predefined options by sorting, and it'll also give you it'll list all the unique items in this particular column. but I want to select something that's equal to and greater than $4.99. So you don't have that option here, so what you need to do is click on the custom option, brings up another window, and it gives you selections to choose from. So I want to select something that's equal to and greater than. Okay, so the option here says is greater than or equal to. So I'm going to select that, and now I'm going to select the item that I want. So I want something that's equal to $4.99 or greater. So it'll do that. I don't have to select another option down here. Click OK, and now it returns the data set all equal to $4.99, equal to or greater than. Now, the obvious thing you need to do next is you want to be able to sort this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort it in ascending order. So I'm going to record, because I didn't turn the recorder off yet, it's still going to record my actions. So I'm going to go up here to this column, to the filtering, and I want to sort it by ascending order. So now it shows all items that are equal to or greater than $4.99 in ascending order. So now I'm done with this macro. So I need to go back up here, click on end recording, tools, macro, stop recording. Now that did it. So my shortcut key was Control U, right? Now, but I want to reset this data first. So I'm going to do a Control R to reset it. Returns all items in the data set. Now I want to do a Control U. Control U brings back all items equal to and greater than $4.99 in ascending order, as you can see. Okay, I'm going to reset the data set. Okay. Now this next step I'm going to show you how to create buttons up here. So you can, instead of using shortcut keys, you could use buttons. Now remember, shortcut keys, you're limited because of the fact that you could have so many different workbooks, worksheets in one workbook that have macros with an assignment of a shortcut key. But eventually you'll run out of shortcut keys to name things with. So an easy way to fix that is by creating buttons up here that will perform the same action as the macro that you recorded. So in order to do that, you need to go up to your toolbar that says drawing, and once you click on that, at the bottom of your worksheet you're going to have a number of different drawing tools to work with. So the first one, I'm going to use the square. So you need to left click on that and drag it up to where you want to place it, and then just basically give me a second here. Okay, let me see how this is working here. A second. Okay, what I was doing incorrectly, once you have the drawing toolbar down here, all you have to do is select it, and you don't need to hold down your mouse key or and then drag it up. What you do is just select it once, bring your arrow up here, and see you have a small little plus sign that's the crosshairs, and now you just need to use your left mouse and then hold it down and then drag it to the size that you want. So at this point you can put text on there so you know what it's going to do. So you just click in there and start typing. and I'm going to put sales by Andrews. Now what you need to do is you need to assign the macro to this button. So you still want to keep it in there. What you want to do is you want to right click on it, and then let's see, let's go up here. Okay, give me a second. Okay, what I was doing incorrectly here, in order to assign a macro to this button, of course you need to select this button, but instead of being your selection inside here where the text is, if you hit the right mouse key, it'll bring up a different menu for you. You have to select the outer portion of this button and then do a right mouse click, and then it'll give you the option of assigning a macro to this button. So in this case, I want to do sales by Andrew, select that one, and then click OK. Now I'm going to create buttons for the other ones, and then I'll show you how they work. So let's go ahead and put up a couple more buttons for the other macros that we created. So I'm going to leave this drawing toolbar up. I'm going to select the rectangle box again. You could select any one of these objects, and then I'm going to go like this. Now this second one was for unit cost of $4.99 or greater in ascending order. So that's that. Now I need to select the outer side of this box, right click, assign macro, unit cost, click OK. Okay, the third button is to reset the data set. So I'm going to select a different object. I'll do an oval up here, and then type in there reset data. Again, select the outer box itself, assign macro, reset data is what you called it, and then click OK. Now you're done. Now it's all ready for you to do. Once you click on these, it'll go through all these, it'll execute those macros. So I'm going to do this first one here, sales by Andrew. Just a second. Let me see what I did incorrectly. Okay, I'm back, and what I figured out was the reason why I got that debug error previously is because your cursor, when you're working with data filters, your cursor should always be within your data set in order for it to work. And that's why I was getting a debug error. But anyways, I'm going to show you. As you can see, my cursor is outside the data set. I'm going to click on here. It'll sort everything by Andrews. Unit cost greater than equal to $4.99 and above, and then reset the data set. Again, that's the error that I was getting. So I'll show you how you could look at the macro itself in VBA code. VBA stands for Visual Basic for Applications. And I'll show you that briefly in part 3 of this video series.